I was taught from a very young age to just block out the noise and always dream big and believe that I can do anything I want to do. My name's Caitlin Clark, and I'm a point guard.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there?
What's amazing about women's basketball is that we bring it all to the court. We bring that emotion, we bring that fire. That's how I've always played the game, and I think that's what makes it so fun.
Hey, Caitlin, can you make it from there? Come on, guys, she can't make it from here. No chance. Nike didn't just drop another commercial. They dropped a blueprint. And if you missed what just happened, you're about to watch women's basketball change forever in 2026. This isn't about a shoe. This is about $36 million in economic impact. This is about one player generating 27% of an entire league's revenue. This is about why global brands are finally treating women's basketball like the force it's always been. I'm breaking down the real story behind Nike's From Anywhere campaign, and trust me, it's bigger than you think. Let's go back. Before the packed arenas, before the record-breaking numbers, before NIL money changed everything, there was a driveway in Iowa. Cold winters, rough concrete, a slanted surface that made every shot harder than it needed to be. Most kids would have adjusted. Caitlin Clark did something else. She asked her dad to rip up the grass. Not to make it look better, not for comfort. She wanted space to shoot from deeper. She wanted a full three-point line. That choice tells you everything about how her mind works.
Like begging my dad to tear up some grass and pour more concrete so I could have an entire three-point line in my driveway.
Did that really happen? You extended your range by dumping more concrete?
Yeah, because it was kind of slanted. Our driveway was slanted, so I only had a three-point line on one side of the driveway. So I told my dad he had to tear up all this grass, and he did.
She doesn't work around limits. She eliminates them. And here's where the pattern starts. Because as Caitlin climbed from one level to the next, the voices never disappeared. They just changed uniforms. High school. Too small, too slow. That style won't translate here. College. College defenders will expose her. WNBA. Her range will shrink once the athletes get faster and stronger. Different stages, same script. And every single time, the ending stayed the same. She didn't trim her game to survive. She widened it to dominate.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there? Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, conmigo, let.
You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
People mistook volume for recklessness. They saw deep shots and assumed risk. What they missed was control, footwork, balance, shot selection that was calculated, not chaotic. Over time, the pattern became impossible to ignore. This wasn't a shooter gambling on confidence. This was precision stacked on repetition. Night after night, the same outcomes kept showing up. And then something shifted. Defenses tried everything. Sitting back didn't work. Stepping up, opened driving lanes, trapping high, instant punishment, pressing full court, drained energy, exposed spacing. There was no clean answer because she wasn't attacking one defender. She was attacking structure itself.
Clark from the logo! She gets it out of that left hand, and it's money. You bet!
He's trying to redirect a pass. Clark. Oh my!
Clark, can she answer? Of course. You better be careful. There might be another one coming right here.
Ducharme has good size.
Clark steps into a deep three.
A long three by Clark.
Coaches stopped preparing for a team and started preparing for a force. Scouting reports expanded. Practice plans changed. Entire game plans revolved around where she might pull up from, not where she was supposed to. That kind of gravity bends the floor in ways statistics don't fully capture. What followed was expectation. Shots that once shocked crowds started feeling inevitable. Clark steps into a deep three. A late closeout, defender leaning the wrong way. Can she answer? Of course. A split-second window opening. The response came before the ball even left her hands. That's when the sport started moving around her instead of against her. And Nike? Nike saw that before most people did. They didn't study Caitlin Clark as a shooter. They studied her impact. How space changed when she crossed half court. How defenders hesitated. How fans leaned forward earlier in games and stayed locked in longer. That's leverage. That's not about mechanics. That's about influence reshaping behavior. But here's where it gets real. Let's talk numbers.
I think we already see the impact of the WNBA and then the impact that women's sports is having around the world. And because of the great performances these athletes were having, a Sabrina shoe, an Asia shoe, and now a Caitlin shoe. And so it unlocked, we believe, opportunities for the game of basketball. We already saw it making movements.
Caitlin Clark generated an estimated $36 million in economic impact on her own during her rookie season. That accounted for nearly 27% of the entire league's total economic impact, even while she missed time due to the Olympic break. Read that again. One player, 27% of the league's economic impact. Ratings surged when she played and dipped when she didn't. Cities felt the difference. Merchandise sales showed it. Sponsors tracked it closely. That's not popularity. That's structural influence. For the first time, the WNBA had hard evidence, not projections or hopeful forecasts. One player could move the entire business. And once that reality is on paper, it doesn't disappear overnight. Then came the quiet shock. Spring 2026. Caitlin Clark's signature Nike shoe. Not leaked, not rushed, not accidental. Nike slowed the rollout deliberately because this was never about speed. It was about scale.
Hey, Caitlin, from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Che.
So right here.
From there!
From anywhere.
All right, well, looks like she can do it.
Nike CEO Elliott Hill made it clear. We already see the impact of the WNBA and the impact that women's sports is having around the world. A Sabrina shoe, an Aja shoe, and now a Caitlin shoe. It unlocked opportunities for the game of basketball. They're not simply stamping her name on a product. They're building this with her. But here's what makes this different. Most signature shoes follow a familiar formula. Flashy hype, heavy focus on individual branding, collector culture. Caitlin rejected that approach entirely. This shoe is not about exclusivity. It's about access. Youth programs, grassroots basketball, global reach. China was specifically mentioned for a reason. Caitlin has been clear from the start. Visibility alone isn't the goal. Opportunity is the point. This shoe isn't designed to sit untouched on shelves or live behind glass. It's meant to hit hardwood. It's meant to land in gyms that have never had this level of belief pushed into them before. Industry analysts are already circling the numbers. Some believe this signature shoe could reach 9-figure revenue and grow into a top 5 signature franchise across all of basketball, not just the women's side. But Caitlin rarely speaks about profit. She talks about reach. To her, more revenue means more doors opened, more kids reached, more programs funded, more chances created where none existed before. That's the difference. So let's go back to that commercial. From anywhere. The celebrities weren't placed there for decoration. They represented a very specific kind of doubt. The casual kind, the smiling kind, the kind that pretends to be harmless while quietly dismissing what's coming. Hey, Caitlin, from here might be impressive, am I right? Whatever, Chad. Caitlin has faced that tone her entire career. Not anger, not hostility, disbelief wrapped in confidence. Nike understood viewers would recognize it instantly because almost everyone has underestimated her at some point, and almost everyone has watched her turn that doubt into routine outcomes. But watch how she moves now. She lifts teammates instead of stacking credit. She redirects praise instead of collecting it. Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell. She doesn't crowd the spotlight, she stretches it. That's by design. Because what Nike understood is that from anywhere was never really about distance. It was about origin. It was a message to kids who think their starting point decides their ceiling. Where you begin doesn't get the final say. That driveway in Iowa wasn't special because of geography. It was special because of belief. Cold mornings, uneven ground, no shortcuts. Doubt turned into distance. Distance turned into confidence. Confidence turned into influence. Influence turned into opportunity. That sequence matters because it can be repeated. That's why 2026 matters. This isn't just a return season, it's a marker. A moment where women's basketball steps fully into global branding space that once felt locked behind men's sports. Bigger platforms, bigger expectations, bigger responsibility. Caitlin sits at the center of that shift, not as a lone star, but as a connector. The real question isn't about a shoe. It's about what follows. Does Caitlin Clark's signature Nike release shift how the WNBA is valued, marketed, and invested in? Does it open doors for the next generation that never had access before? And are people ready for what women's basketball looks like when global brands finally treat it like the force it's already become? Because here's the truth. Women's basketball is no longer asking for space. It's taking it. Brands are no longer testing the waters. They're committing. The audience is no longer niche. It's expanding, sticking, and demanding more. Stories like this don't end cleanly. They open doors, they raise expectations. They make it harder to look away the next time a player is underestimated. That kid shooting alone in freezing weather wasn't just building range, she was building leverage, she was building proof. Proof that belief, when paired with work, can move systems that once felt immovable. If you want to stay ahead of where this league, this business, and this culture are going next, you're in the right place. We break down what the numbers mean, what the moves signal, and what's coming before it becomes obvious. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me, do you think Caitlin's signature shoe will crack the top 5 basketball signatures of all time? Because by the time everyone agrees something has changed, the next chapter is already underway. I'll see you in the next one.